Hi, everyone. I'm Casey Rendazzo, a doctoral student in communication at Sky, and I have 10 years of experience in communication, marketing, and sales for companies like Johnson& Johnson, Wiley, and Pearson. I went to Raritan Valley and Cornell for my undergrad and Rutgers for my master's, which has led me to this opportunity and chance to speak to all of you about finding a mentor. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll have some time for them at the end. So 66% of people say that mentors are important, but only 37% actually have one. Why the gap? Well, there could be a few reasons. One, there are unrealistic standards for mentorships. You might hear someone on a TED Talk mention their mentor, and it sounds incredible, but not so realistic to find. So let's bring this idea down to reality and rethink who a mentor can be to us. Formal mentors are what we traditionally think of when we think of a mentor. Someone that is successful with decades of experience that swoops in and takes us under their wings. Well, sorry to break it to you, but those are unicorns. Unless your company has a mentorship program, and those are fantastic, or you do get lucky, right place, right time sort of thing, finding a traditional or formal mentor can be tough. But that doesn't mean all is lost. You might already be interacting with your next mentor because mentorships happen more informally than we think. Think of them as more unstructured moments with someone that says something or gives you advice that you'll never forget that can sometimes change the trajectory of your career. This could be a peer or external mentor, which we'll get into next. So if you haven't already, I want you to build an advisory board full of mentors. And you're not going to tell them that they're sitting on your mentoring advisory board. That's just something for you. Advisory boards are helpful because no one mentor can help you achieve all of your goals. One might be able to help you consider a path to a leadership position, and another can help you with technical skills that might be specific to a job change. You're going to need a lot of different folks in your corner to get you where you want to be. So here's the 5 types of mentors that I recommend you target for your personal advisory board. First, the master of your craft. If you know you want to be the best in your field, whether it's the greatest communication manager, editor, entrepreneur, ask who are the most iconic figures in that area. This person can function as your personal Jedi master, someone who's accumulated their wisdom through years of experience and who could provide insight into your industry and fine-tuning your skills. Read their books, follow them on Twitter, watch their TED Talks, consume all of their content, anything you can get your hands on. And if someone like this is actually at your company or you know of them, start reaching out. The last slide will go over templates that you could use for doing so. The next type of mentor is the champion. This mentor is someone who will talk you up to others, and it's important to have one of these in your current workplace. These are people who are your advocates and who have your back, but they do more than just boost you up. Often they can be connectors too, introducing you to useful people in your industry. Now, our peers are the best mentors you will ever have. That's the next type. This could be your best work bud, a colleague who could talk you through projects, advise you in navigating the personalities at your company, and listen to you vent over coffee. This kind of mentoring relationship is best when it's close to equally reciprocal. You are peers committed to supporting each other, collaborating with each other, and holding each other accountable. And when you have a peer mentor, they're almost like a co-pilot. Both the quality of your work and your engagement levels at your job will improve as a result of having a peer mentor. Thinking of your peers as your mentors opens up so many more mentorship options. They've been where you are, they have their hand on the pulse, and it may be more comfortable talking to them, being vulnerable about your goals. You can also look for peer mentors that have the position that you want, even if they're at a different company, and look for peers that are counterparts to your position, that are also in your field. You can find them by going to happy hours, even virtual ones, as awkward as they may be, sponsored by professional groups and organizations like Toastmasters or alumni meetups hosted by Rutgers. You can also find mentors by joining your company's softball team, especially now that we're starting to get back into the office, or book club, by volunteering. I mean, they're everywhere. You have to put yourself out there and you will find them. Then there are external mentors. This person doesn't have to work in your industry. In fact, it can be a friend or a family member. While your champion mentor supports you to achieve specific career goals, external mentors are confidants and sounding boards. We're all going to hit speed bumps and go through uncertainty in life. So we need someone who could lift us up and hype us up. Helps us see the light through the cracks during challenging times too. External mentors keep your overall best interests in mind, so they can be particularly insightful when it comes to setting priorities, achieving work-life balance, and not losing sight of your values. And then there's the reverse mentor. So what this is you sending the elevator back down. Whenever anyone reaches out to you through LinkedIn or elsewhere and asks for help, always, always, always lend a helping hand. If you don't have a lot of time, that's okay. Tell them that you can only give them 15 minutes or so, but it's important to make time to help others. You can learn a lot from someone you informally mentor, even if they only have a few years of work experience. Speaking from my own experience, talking to mentees gives me the opportunity to collect feedback on my leadership style, engage with the younger generation, and keep my perspectives fresh and relevant. Plus, it's a nice reminder of how far you've come. But I do get it. It might be uncomfortable putting yourself out there. Humans do fear rejection. That's normal. So that leads me to tip number 2, which is expect rejection. When someone says no, and they will, find someone who will say yes. It's okay when someone says no. Yes, it hurts. It's hard not to take it as a reflection of your own worth, but I promise you, you will find your people. They're out there. You are special, but you are not the only one who thinks like you. You'll find them, but it might take a lot of no's. So as I said earlier, I'm a PhD student in communication here at Sky, and my research interests have changed since I first started. So I had to search for support from faculty members that possess skills I didn't even know I needed when I joined the program. And I had what felt like meeting after meeting and no luck. But finally, I talked to someone who understood what I was trying to accomplish, and it felt amazing. And you will too. And my last tip, put less pressure on yourself. It will feel like everyone you talk to will tell you to have a rehearsed elevator pitch, have a website, bedazzle your LinkedIn page. Yes, do those things. But also, if you don't want to do those things, that is okay too. They're not 100% necessary to getting a mentor. Sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect, say all the right things, present ourselves a certain way, especially online, that we freeze. And then we don't do anything. Or you might say, I'll reach out to them in the future once I have time to finish that website or work on that thing. No, reach out now. And look, you're not a brand. You're not a product on a shelf. If you don't feel comfortable selling yourself, don't. You're human. And the most important thing you can do when looking for a mentor is be genuine and focus on building that relationship. Be curious, get excited about their accomplishments and what you can potentially learn from them. Now, I'm going to quickly go over some templates you could use. Feel free to go back to this recording and pause the screen so you can jot these down. But I recommend 3 touch points when you're reaching out to certain mentors. The first message just helps to start the conversation. You want to reference their work or an article they might have published, or maybe even one that they were quoted in, or Tell them about something you learned about them from a colleague or friend. Then, assuming they've gotten back to you, again, expect rejection. The second touch point will signal to them that you've taken the time to follow up, to read about that work or look into those other references that they sent you, and that you would love to set up a call. And after the call, send them a message thanking them for their time. And if and only if you want them to serve as one of those advisory mentorship roles, ask them if they'd be willing to talk to you, maybe on a monthly basis. Doing these things and exploring different types of mentors will take your career to new heights. I just know it. All right. Thanks, everyone. Now we're going to open it up for questions. Well, if you have any other questions and you weren't able to send them during the live chat, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. Like I said, send the elevator down. Thanks, everyone.